The air hung heavy with the scent of honeysuckle as I first stepped onto the grounds of Harmony Acres. It was as if the very essence of tranquility had been distilled into this place. Sunlight dappled through the leaves, painting dancing patterns on the lush grass. The interplay of light and shadow created a mesmerizing tapestry that seemed to whisper secrets of peace and serenity. Laughter drifted from the fields where people worked, their voices blending in a harmonious chorus. It was a symphony of joy and camaraderie, a testament to the unity that bound us all. This was it, the sanctuary I'd been searching for. A place where the soul could find solace and the heart could find its rhythm. A place to escape the chaos of the world, a place to belong. Here, amidst the blooming flowers and whispering trees, I felt a sense of belonging I had never known before. We were a community, we were told, a collective of like-minded souls striving for a common goal, a family bound together by shared ideals of peace, love, and understanding. Our bonds were forged in the fires of mutual respect and unwavering support. Our leader Elias, with his warm eyes and gentle smile, promised us enlightenment. His presence was magnetic, drawing us in with promises of a brighter future. He spoke of a world free from pain and suffering, a world we would build together. His vision was grand, a utopia where every soul could find its true purpose. His words resonated with the longing in my heart. They stirred something deep within me, a yearning for a life of meaning and fulfillment. I was ready to dedicate my life to his vision. The promise of a better tomorrow was too alluring to resist. The early days were idyllic. They were filled with a sense of wonder and discovery. We woke with the sun, our days filled with meaningful work and shared meals. Each morning brought new opportunities to connect and grow. Evenings were spent in spirited discussions, our minds stimulated by Elias's teachings. We debated, we learned, and we grew together as a community. He spoke of harnessing our inner energy, of tapping into a universal consciousness that connected us all. His teachings were profound, offering a glimpse into the mysteries of existence. We hung on his every word, eager to please, to prove our devotion. Our hearts and minds were open, ready to absorb the wisdom he imparted. There was a palpable sense of hope in the air, a shared belief that we were creating something truly special. We felt like pioneers, forging a new path for humanity. We were a beacon of light, Elias assured us, a shining example for a world lost in darkness. Our mission was clear, and our resolve was unshakable. And I, swept away by the collective euphoria, believed him wholeheartedly. The sense of unity and purpose was intoxicating. I had finally found my purpose, my home. This was where I was meant to be, surrounded by kindred spirits. Little did I know the darkness was closer than I thought, lurking beneath the surface of our utopian dream. The shadows of doubt and disillusionment were beginning to creep in, threatening to unravel the fabric of our perfect world. Elias was a captivating figure. His charisma was undeniable, his presence magnetic. He had an answer for everything, a solution for every doubt. His words were like a soothing balm on my troubled soul. I, like many others, was drawn to his wisdom. He held daily gatherings at the heart of Harmony Acres, a rustic amphitheater nestled amongst ancient oak trees. We sat at his feet, our faces tilted upwards, catching every word that fell from his lips. He spoke of self-discovery, of shedding the shackles of societal conditioning. He urged us to question everything, to break free from the constraints of our former lives. We are the architects of our own destiny, he would proclaim, his voice resonating with conviction. Together, we will build a new world, a world free from the corruption of the outside. His words ignited a fire within us, a fervent desire to create a better future, a future guided by his wisdom. We were encouraged to sever ties with the outside world. Contact with family and friends was deemed detrimental to our spiritual growth. Letters were screened, phone calls forbidden. Elias became our sole point of contact, our conduit to the world beyond Harmony Acres. At the time, it seemed like a small price to pay for the enlightenment he offered. We were shedding our old lives, leaving behind the negativity that had plagued us for so long. We were starting anew, guided by our unwavering faith in Elias. Our days grew longer, the work more demanding. Elias introduced new practices, rituals designed to cleanse our minds and bodies. We fasted for days, the gnawing hunger in our stomachs a testament to our devotion. Sleep became a luxury, our nights filled with chanting and meditation. The vibrant tapestry of Harmony Acres began to fray at the edges, revealing a darker, more sinister undercurrent. Doubts, like insidious weeds, began to sprout in the fertile ground of my mind. The laughter that once filled the air grew strained, the smiles strained. The faces around me, once glowing with hope, now seemed gaunt, their eyes shadowed with fatigue. We were encouraged to report any signs of negativity, any whispers of doubt. Those who questioned Elias's teachings were swiftly dealt with, their dissent silenced. Punishments were swift and severe. Public humiliation, solitary confinement, days of silence. The fear was palpable, a suffocating blanket that stifled any flicker of rebellion. I found myself withdrawing, my initial trust in Elias slowly eroding. The paradise I had envisioned was crumbling around me, replaced by an unsettling sense of unease. The harmony we once celebrated was now a carefully constructed illusion maintained through fear and intimidation. The change was insidious, a slow drip of poison that seeped into our lives, unnoticed at first but gradually taking hold. Elias's teachings, once uplifting and empowering, now felt oppressive, suffocating, like a heavy weight pressing down on our chests. He spoke of enemies lurking in the shadows, of threats to our utopian existence, painting a picture of constant danger. The outside world, he warned, was a cesspool of sin and corruption, eager to destroy our newfound harmony, a place where chaos reigned supreme. Fear became the currency of Harmony Acres, a tool used to control and manipulate. Fear of the outside world, fear of Elias's wrath, fear of our own thoughts. It was a pervasive, all-encompassing dread. I started noticing things I hadn't before. Small details that painted a larger, more disturbing picture. The vacant look in the eyes of my fellow members, eyes that once sparkled with hope now dull and lifeless. The way they flinched at Elias's touch, as if it burned them, the forced smiles plastered on their faces, smiles that never reached their eyes. We were all prisoners, trapped in a gilded cage of our own making, a beautiful facade hiding a dark reality. One evening, I overheard a whispered conversation, a rare moment of honesty breaking through the facade, a rare crack in the facade of unity, a glimpse into the true feelings of others. Two members, their faces etched with fear, spoke in hushed tones, their words a jumble of anxiety and doubt. "He's changing," one whispered, his eyes darting nervously around, scanning for any eavesdroppers. "It's not like it used to be," he continued, a hint of nostalgia in his voice. The other nodded, her face pale and drawn, worry lines etched deeply into her skin. "We need to leave," she breathed, her voice barely audible, filled with urgency. "We need to get out of here," she repeated, determination hardening her features. Their words ignited a spark of hope within me, a small flame in the darkness, a confirmation of my own growing suspicions, a validation of my fears. I wasn't alone in my fear. There were others who felt the same, who saw through the charade. There were others who saw through the charade, who yearned for escape, who longed for freedom. But the risks were immense, the stakes incredibly high. Elias had eyes and ears everywhere, a network of informants and spies. Dissent was met with swift and brutal punishment, a deterrent to any thoughts of rebellion. The seed of doubt had been planted, a small but persistent thought that grew with each passing day. But the fear of the consequences was a formidable barrier, a wall that seemed insurmountable. I knew I had to be careful, to plan meticulously, to tread lightly if I ever hoped to escape the clutches of Harmony Acres. To tread lightly if I ever hoped to escape the clutches of Harmony Acres, to find a way out of the darkness and into the light. The air crackled with a strange energy that night, an electric tension that seemed to vibrate through the very fabric of the atmosphere. It was a moonless night, the darkness suffocating, as if the very sky was holding its breath, waiting for something momentous to unfold. We were gathered in the amphitheater, a sea of white robes under the flickering light of torches, the flames casting eerie shadows that danced on the ancient stone walls. The air was thick with incense, the cloying scent doing little to mask the undercurrent of fear that permeated the gathering. It was a fear that clung to our skin, seeping into our very bones. Elias, his eyes gleaming with an unsettling intensity, stood before us, his presence commanding and almost otherworldly. He raised his hands, and a hush fell over the crowd, the silence so profound it was as if the world itself had paused to listen. His voice, amplified by the stillness, boomed across the clearing, each word resonating with a power that seemed to shake the very ground beneath us. "Tonight," he proclaimed, "we shed our earthly tethers, casting off the chains that bind us to this mortal coil. Tonight, we become one with the universe, our spirits merging with the cosmos in a symphony of celestial harmony." His words sparked a frenzy among the congregation, a palpable excitement that rippled through the crowd like a wave. Eyes glazed over, bodies swayed in unison, moving to a rhythm that seemed to emanate from the very core of the earth. A low, guttural chant erupted, growing louder, more fervent with each passing moment, the sound reverberating through the night air. The sound was hypnotic, disorienting, a cacophony that seemed to warp the very fabric of reality. I felt myself being pulled in, my own voice joining the chorus, my mind numbing, thoughts dissolving into the cacophony, becoming one with the collective. But beneath the surface, a primal fear clawed at the edges of my consciousness. Something was wrong, terribly wrong. This was not harmony, this was madness, a descent into chaos masquerading as unity. My gaze darted around the crowd, searching for a familiar face, a flicker of sanity in the sea of blind devotion, but finding none. But all I saw were empty eyes and vacant smiles, their bodies moving in eerie synchronicity, as if puppets on invisible strings. I tried to pull away to break free from the hypnotic rhythm, but the sound seemed to wrap around me, dragging me under, suffocating me with its relentless grip. Panic welled up inside me, choking, suffocating, a desperate need to escape clawing at my insides. I had to get out, had to escape this madness before it consumed me entirely.